Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. So, this is supposed to be a Thankful Thursday video. It is not Thursday, it's Friday. I completely forgot that I'm supposed to make a video on Thursday, and I think I know what it was. So my sister's birthday is today, and so all week I've been telling myself not to forget her birthday, because I know my sister's birthday is January 26th, but sometimes I forget that today is January 26th. So I put a reminder in my phone, and I've been basically telling myself every day, don't forget Brittany's birthday on Friday. 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 And I was especially doing this yesterday. Don't forget Brittany's birthday on Friday. Don't forget Brittany's birthday tomorrow. And I just completely forgot that it was Thursday, and I'm supposed to make a video on Thursday. My apologies. My apologies. So as for what I'm thankful for, this is an easy one. Tomorrow is January 27th, and my sew-along is starting. My quilt-along is starting, and so I'm going to get to make my quilts. So I have really not sewn very much. I have not sewn very much. The only things that I've sewn, I sewed one block. I did a live with the Greenland quilter, Katy, and I got one of my pressed flowers quilt along blocks in the sew sampler completed, and then that would be this one here. So I do like how the block came out. Some of my earlier blocks I'm not as big of a fan of, some of the earlier blocks, and so I changed some of my prints around a little bit. So this is, I guess, this would be block 1. I did not really like how this block came out. I'm no longer using this print because of that. It's too large scale. And this was block number 2, and I felt the same way about this block because this is such a large scale print. It just loses something. I'm not going to redo these blocks. Not redoing these blocks, but I did make some fabric changes in subsequent blocks after that. This would be block number 3. And this would be block number 4. I do like how these came out once I changed the fabrics that I was using. And then this is the last block. This block was a lot. It was a lot. To me, this block was a lot. It was definitely more involved than the other blocks. This block took me 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think, and it was already cut. Everything was already cut. I had all the pieces already cut, and it took, I think it's 2 hours. We started at 4. Yeah, I think it took about two or 2.5 hours for me to put together this one block. So what I told myself that I was going to do, just knowing that one block can take that long, I just told myself that what I'm going to do from here on out is I'm trying to do one block a week. So I did this block, and so I'm done for the week. But next week I'll do another block. So probably I'll choose Monday or Tuesday, and I'll just going to try to do one a week, right? Because I think I have that was block 5. So I have 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those are already cut. Block 10 is come, but it's not cut yet. So it's going to be probably 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks before we have everything, right? Because the next sew sampler box will be, I think I did that unboxing, was it this week? I can't remember stuff from day to day, to be honest. My memory is horrid. But let's say the sew sampler came last week, so it's going to be 3 weeks before I get another one. So that's 3 blocks down, and then it'll be 4 weeks before we get the finishing instructions. So if I do one block a week, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, block 12, when block 12 comes and the finishing instructions come, I'll be done with all of my other blocks. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. Not sure what mine is going to look like, because of course we don't know what the finishing instructions are going to be until we get them. So depending on what the finishing instructions are, I might not follow the finishing instruction pattern. I might just sew my blocks together. I might just sew my 12 blocks together with some sashing in between and call it a day. So we'll have to see when when we get the final pattern piece, then I'll make a decision as to what I want to do. But that's the only thing that I've sewed this week. That is the only thing. I have been crocheting more than anything. I've been working on this sweater, and if it was kind of like, it was a deliberate, well, it didn't start out as deliberate, but it was like, once the 27th comes and I'm full steam ahead into my quilt-alongs for the upscale plaid quilt. So I know I'm going to be starting this heavy tomorrow. So basically, as soon as I get up, this is when I'm going to be starting. I've already put some of my blocks together. I'm already ahead of schedule, okay? Because this quilt-along starts January 27th, where we're going to be doing the cutting. And I've already done all my cutting. The only thing I haven't cut is I haven't cut the binding for one of the quilts. I've got 2 in here, and I haven't cut the binding for one of them because I haven't decided what binding I want yet. So for the blue one here, the blue colorway, I have my binding cut. And yeah. So I'm ahead of schedule because we start cutting tomorrow. I've already cut. So I'm going to start sewing tomorrow since I'm doing 2 quilts. And I've already done one of my blocks for both colorways because I wanted to test my seam allowance. It's not the best. The seam allowance is not the best right now. And so I've been struggling with that. But this is what I'm going to be working on tomorrow. Now, football starts at 4:30. So probably from the time I get up, I might eat a little breakfast or I might just have a cup of coffee. I'm probably going to come down here and just immediately start sewing on this project. So, and then while I'm doing these 2 quilts, of course, I'll be working on my 3rd quilt for my leaders and enders. And that is the Pick Up Sticks quilt pattern. It's not in here right now. That's okay. But it's basically uses 2.5 inch strips cut from fat quarters. I chose to use a jelly roll, but I did cut my background. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. So that's how my tomorrow is going to be. Sunday's another football day, but again, football, I believe, starts late. So yeah, I'll do some chores, I guess. I have 2 loads of laundry that I really need to fold. So I will do that. But I'll probably fold the laundry while I'm watching the game. Right? That's a perfect activity. Like when you're watching something on TV, that's the perfect time to fold your laundry because you're kind of in one place anyway and you're kind of a captive audience. Your hands are free. It's a good time to fold laundry. So I'll probably exercise a little discipline, and I need to clean my bathroom too. I try to clean my bathrooms on the weekends. So I'm probably going to get up, come down, get a cup of coffee, come down here, immediately start barreling away and see what I can get done. And then at, 4 or 5 o'clock, I'll go upstairs and I will probably clean the bathroom like during commercials and stuff, and I'll fold my laundry while I'm watching the game. It's boring. I'm just a boring person. I live a boring life. I don't do anything. I don't go anywhere. Boring. I've just been working on crocheting. It's kind of like a palette cleanser. I didn't want to be burnt out on sewing. I didn't want to, because I know that this is going to be a big ask. I'm basically trying to put together 3 quilts in 4 weeks. So I thought it would be good to kind of have a palette cleansing time where I'm not doing a bunch of sewing. That way, because I'm actually excited to sew. Since I haven't sewn, I'm excited to sew. Literally, all I've sewn in the past 2 weeks are the block that I showed you, and I think I showed you guys this last week, this little bag we got in the Open Gate Quilt subscription box. So that's literally the only sewing that I have done in 2 weeks, other than like my test blocks. And I think the test blocks I did before that period. So I really don't think I've done any sewing really, not of any consequence. Um, Putting that block together was sewing, but it was like fiddly sewing, you know. It was a bit fiddly. I didn't enjoy that. The projects that I'm working on for this, it's basically just strips. There's no stitch and flip. There were so many stitch and flip corners. There's so much. There was just I just hate it. So to make my life easier for the stitch and flip, instead of, because I've already got my machine set up with my seam allowance, and I didn't want to change that so that I could sew diagonal lines, like, you know, like when you have to draw a line from corner to corner and sew on the line or sew on either side of the line. I've already got my machine set up for sewing strips, and I didn't want to change that, so I just cut mine. I just used this ruler. This is the Mini Simple Folded Corners Ruler by Delglico. This came in one of our boxes. I believe this came in one of the open gate. I think it was in the open gate. If it wasn't in open gate, it was in Sew Sampler. But it was definitely in a subscription box. Now, I have the full-size ruler because I had bought one on my own just because I like the concept of it, because I hate that sewing on the diagonal. I really don't really enjoy it. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. But, and I do it. But when I'm dealing with like smaller pieces and stuff like that sometimes, and if my machine is already set up for a different style of sewing, I like to use this because then I can just cut, and then I can just cut it where it needs to be, and then just sew my normal 1/4 inch. So that's just my preference. And that's how I put that Sew Sampler block together. I forgot to put these back in the daggone thing. Anywho, I will be doing another live with Katy on Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday the 31st at 4 p.m. We'll be doing another live sew. So I'll put the link to Katy's channel down there. It was a good time. It was a good time. I don't think that I would have put that Sew Sampler block together had it not been for that. But I think in future lives, I'm going to choose something that's a little less fiddly. Because putting that block together, I had to really pay attention to what I was doing. So I think that when I do this Wednesday's live on the 31st, I'm going to take a different tack, and I'm probably going to work on this because it's just basically sewing strips together. Because you kind of want to be able to look at people's comments and talk and engage and respond, and it's just really difficult to do that. I found it difficult to do that while I was working on something that required me to pay attention. So I think I know. For the next one, I am going to choose something easier to sew. So, yeah, so that's what I'm thankful for. I'm just really thankful that my sew along starts tomorrow. I'm super excited to sew these quilts together. Like, I am massively excited. So excited. Anyway, so that's it for me. And I'll see you guys next video. Unless you join me on Wednesday. I might see you then.